Bless you.
I coughed. What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Junkyard. We don't know what number we're on. It's a beautiful Sunday out here where we're recording. We're not going to disclose the location because we like to be a little discreet.
We're mysterious individuals.
Extremely mysterious. I mean, for the people living in the surrounding areas, which is the majority of our friends, you might know where this is, but please don't tell anybody. Please. Like, just keep it on the low, okay? Keep it on wraps.
And if you haven't noticed, it's actually the morning. We usually record at night.
Yeah, exactly. We normally have lights and shit on our face, but this time we actually have God's light.
God's light. So that means this video is something special.
Something special. And today we're going to try to talk about a little thing we like to call toxicity. Toxicity in the workplace, the gym, in almost every setting. And I think the basis of it is arrogance. I think arrogance is the setting. Or I guess not the setting, but I guess the thing that births toxicity, honestly. You get me? Like, I think that if you're good at something, I think that if you're, I guess if you've mastered something, you should try to be humble about it. Try to be humble about it, honestly. So
I agree. I mean, one thing I can say is, like, when it comes to, like, let's say the gym, I've noticed, for the most part, not every single person, but for the most part, the people who are the most advanced are usually the nicest and kindest people. It's the people who just finally started seeing results that they swear that they're on top of the world. And I'm not gonna lie, to a degree, I kind of felt like that. But as you progress, it's kind of like you know that there's always people that are bigger than you, stronger than you, faster than you. You're never really at the top.
That's true. There's always a bigger fish to fry at the end of the day. And honestly, once you get fried by that fish, you get humbled. You get humbled, and man, being humbled by God in general is like the big hit to the ego, but it teaches you to be grounded. People like to keep their head in the clouds nowadays, whether it's clout, whether it's, any kind of attention that they garner off of the things that they've done. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, I'm a huge Drake fan. I like Drake, but bro, I'm tired of his music. I'm not calling him like toxic, or maybe a little arrogant, but not toxic. I don't think he's toxic. I think his lyrics are good. It's just, I'm kind of tired of hearing like the same thing over and over again about how he has money and women and property, and he sits with celebrity. Like, I get the lyrics, bro, and maybe it's just like a time and a place to listen to Drake when you're feeling yourself. You get me? When you're getting a little cocky and shit, and you're lifting a weight, and you hear a Drake lyric about something about, I don't know, bitches and Benzes. I don't know, something like that.
Let me ask you something about that. You said that, like, you're tired of him talking about, like, the girls, the money, the fame, this and this and that. But wouldn't you say that that's pretty much the topic that sells the most?
No, yeah, of course. I honestly think that if it sells the most, what? Jesus Christ.
God bless.
It's windy as fuck. Well, sorry for the cut there, guys. It's just windy as fuck out here.
Yeah, it's very windy. But listen, but let's say, okay, if Drake, let's say he decides that he wants to change and he no longer wants to talk about, women, drugs and all that stuff, don't you think that there's going to be somebody else that's going to take advantage of that and still continue to profit off of those, like, topics?
No.
So if he changes, and let's say he becomes, like, he starts talking about, I don't know, like Christianity or this and this and that.
Yeah.
He's no longer going to sell to the same degree that he used to sell, and then someone else is going to capitalize on it and basically take the money that he could have potentially had.
I think nowadays, when it comes to sales and things like that, I think it's a majority of hype, and leaks. Hype and leaks. Because here's the thing, Donda, for instance, with Kanye West, like, and how he basically switched his style from being an artist that, once again, talks about women, fame, whatever the fuck it is. Like, he went from that to speaking more godlike, I guess. And I don't want to say more godlike, but I guess preaching a message differently than what he normally does. And I think Drake can do that. I even see hints of old Drake in some of his new albums. Like that one song you guys put me on, Text, what is it called? Text Sent to Green?
I think Text Turned Green, if I'm not mistaken.
Text Turned Green. Yeah. And so, bro, honestly,
never mind.
It was a switch up of things if you think about it. Like, it was it was guitar in that song, and he had old Drake in there, bro. Like the Drake that loved bitches instead of the Drake that hates bitches now. I wouldn't say hates bitches, but it's like won't let a bitch get to his heart.
The feminist Drake versus the misogynist Drake.
Exactly, bro. Like it's like a I guess a peer into the past when it comes to his accolades and stuff like that. But I don't know. I wouldn't call him a toxic artist in general. Future, I wouldn't call him a toxic artist. I really wouldn't call a majority of rappers toxic artists, because it goes back to what you say. Like, you know, that's what they talk about. That's what most rappers talk about in the game.
And if you think about it, but sure, even if they talk about toxic concepts, who are the people that are consuming it? We're the reason that they even got to that level, you know? Yeah, it's because people enjoy listening to things that are toxic. But then those same people go ahead and then complain about it. You get me? Like, I cannot point fingers and say, oh man, Drake, like all he talks about is this and this and this and that. And then I'm at a party and I'm the first one singing the loudest out of everybody in the room.
Yeah,
know?
Don't get me wrong, bro. I'm not saying his songs are bad.
Yeah.
Like, we all know Drake is good. We all know he's a really good artist. We literally grew up on Drake. Drake and Lil Wayne specifically. And bro, like, of course, he's a really good rapper. I can't deny it. He's one of the best, one of the greatest. Probably the greatest of our time right now.
100%.
But that's the thing, man. You know, at least for me, I'm starting to get tired of, like, the same thing. You get me? And I think people get tired of toxicity universally. Yeah. And yeah, I couldn't get that word right. But I think that when it comes to being arrogant, people eventually start to ignore you and expect your arrogance. You get me? So it's like, when people, like, let's say if you kept saying you're the shit, you're the shit, you're the shit, but eventually people just start to ignore you because they're like, okay, yeah, he's gonna say
like,
that.
We get it. Like, you're already we get that you're that guy.
Exactly. So then people start to ignore you when it comes to the aspect of attention, meaning that you'll get less views, less whatever, less blank, whatever the fuck it is. Because notice, going back to rappers, when they start to get real hype, when an album starts to sell out like like Astroworld,
yeah,
the next album, boof, like shit. It's always a pattern. I don't know if you noticed. It's always a pattern. And it's like, they're on top of the world, so they go, let me put some unreleased shit in there. Maybe they might like it. Let me put some shit where I'm not trying as hard and I think it sounds good. Then they fuck up, you get me? Like, I think that toxicity and arrogance is the perfect formula for fucking yourself up at the end of the day, when you think that you're the best. Because people will stop giving you attention. You'll stop being on top of your game when you're not as hungry.
Yeah.
Like, it's a plethora of things, to tell you the truth.
I agree. I would also say probably narcissism is also another contributing factor to the toxicity, you know? Because everybody always thinks that the world revolves around them. And it also comes down to, like, you know, selfishness. I've noticed a lot of humans, you know, are very, very, very selfish by default. Everybody only cares about them. Nobody really cares about others, whether it's, you know, when it comes to parking, when it comes to, let's say, at your job.
Merging lanes.
Bro, they don't care. They don't care if you need to merge in. As if you're skipping them and if you're preventing them from reaching their destination on time, they'll let you hit the wall. There could be a wall right there, bro. They don't care.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'll kill us both. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yo, kill your side, bro.
Kill your side, bro. No, but I'm saying I'll kill us, like, both in the merging, bro.
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm pretty sure that's how people live their life.
Baby on board? I don't give a fuck.
No, literally.
Baby about to spin on board. But yeah, man, like, I guess toxicity in general, bro. Like, and you know, don't get me wrong, we're not like, we're not saints. We're not complete saints when it comes to toxicity, because when it comes to Overwatch, or like, I guess feeling yourself on a certain day, or being the top in a lobby in a video game, or you know, just feeling that you dress like the best out of everybody in the room, of course you're gonna talk your shit. Of course you're gonna feel like the shit. Of course you're gonna be him, you know, in that setting. But man, like, there's gonna be at least one person in the room that's like, that guy is a dickhead. Yeah. And then eventually it starts to, you know, grow more and more. So that's why I think that when it comes to, I guess, like a gym setting, I want to say that it's okay for you to be just a little toxic, just a little, when you're feeling yourself, when you got that good pump. Yeah. When you feel as if you just broke, like, how do I put it? When you just broke a PR, a max. It's like, you know what, bro? Talk your talk. Talk your shit. You get me? Walk your walk. Do whatever you want to do. But don't do it every day. You get me?
I would say just don't use that and like bring other people down. You feel
Yeah,
me? Like
yeah.
I can be like, yeah, I'm that guy. Like, can you lift that? Oh, you're lifting this,
yeah.
you're lifting that, and it's like, bro,
You can
you
be
were there
confident.
not that long ago.
Mhm.
Like when I first started, I couldn't even lift up the bar
Yeah.
for benching.
Mhm.
You feel me? So it's like when I see other, like, let's say kids that are like 18, 19, and they're like lifting like what? Maybe they have like 25 pounds on each side. I'm not going to be like, bro, 25 pounds, bro, that's it? Even though, don't get me wrong, sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I know you can do much more. But if you're just starting out, you're trying to get, your form correctly. Your body's just adapting to like, resistance.
Yeah.
It's a new type of, your body's in shock, or maybe you're sore. Because when you haven't worked out for a really long time, your entire body is super sore the first time you work out.
Mhm.
You feel
No,
me?
I mean it's a basis of progression. So on the basis of toxicity, once again, now I kind of like to touch upon like I'd say toxicity in status and wealth. Nowadays, people, it's rare for somebody with money to be extremely humble. Somebody that has it all in the world, but in reality, nobody ever has everything. You get me? Like, I guess when it comes to material, they do have everything in the world. But when it comes to having material, I like to think that as God says that it's hard for a rich man to get to heaven, that'll tell you that money corrupts you. It corrupts you easily. So of course, you're bound to be toxic. But if you think it only corrupts just you, you're a fool. Like, it corrupts everybody around you. It corrupts people to the point where they expect you to give them money to like provide for them. You get me? And nowadays we live even in I guess even in the dating scene, it's spilled onto it somehow. Like, you expect me to pay for everything. You expect me to have six figures. And I just think that when it comes to exposure of that, I guess on social media, with people flexing their money and being toxic, like, oh, I have this many pairs of J's. What do you have? My Bugatti is, blank. Whoever said that, you want to leave that, up there. But it's just, it gets kind of annoying. You get me? Like, it's okay to aspire to things, and it's okay to inspire other people. I think it's fine to say, hey, look, this is how we get this money. But nobody will ever tell you how to get this money. Nobody will ever tell you. And if they do, they're selling you an online course for about $50 a month. It's just how it works nowadays, bro. And then even then, those people that buy those online courses that they're spending $50 on when they could have spent it on crypto or anything else, or a meal, food, gas, whatever, they don't know any better. And it's like you're taking advantage of people because of your greed and the toxicity of acquiring more wealth instead of being charitable. You get me?
I kind of have like a somewhat opposite take on that, because like I think it all comes from intentions, right? Because if you use your money to belittle others and you're trying to flaunt like, I have this and you don't, therefore I'm superior to you, then yeah, there's a problem. That's toxic. But if I feel like you have an abundance of money, right, and you're saying, hey, this is what I have, I was just like you not that long ago, this is what you are capable of. You don't have to be the smartest, you don't got to be the brightest, you just got to be very resilient and be able to push through adversity. If someone's giving that message, then I don't really mind like how much they, expose their wealth and stuff like that, because to a degree it gives you something to aspire to, right? Because you're like, hey, I know he came from this, and look at everything that he has. This is evidence. Someone's showing you evidence like, oh, I have this amount of wealth.
Yeah.
So I look at that and then I go, okay, I'm this guy from Florida. I don't have my degree, I don't have this, but what do we do have? We have consistency and dedication and pushing through adversity no matter what.
Okay.
And we're starting with the smallest things.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much that's pretty much all I have to say. Like, if someone is giving out the right message, like if we ever make it, I'm gonna be saying the same things that we're saying here, today. I'm gonna say, hey, if we do make it, I'm gonna say, we were just like you. I didn't come from a rich family. We started off with the bare minimum, and I'm definitely grateful that we have a good camera that records us in 1080p, a good laptop, a decent camera, a decent microphone. At the end of the day, it all just comes from intentions, in my opinion.
No, of course, but that's the thing. Like, their intention is to represent themselves in a better light than than having everybody else succeed with them, is what I'm saying. You get me? Like, wow, I can't believe The Rock has like a 4-story mansion. Like, it's insane. Like, wow, I can't believe The Rock went back to one of his old gas stations where, I don't know if you know this, he did this recently. He went back to one of his old gas stations and he repaid all the Snickers bars he stole as a little kid. Wow, The Rock is the best. Like, no, I'm not looking for that. The Rock doesn't motivate you like that. He only motivates you working out if you pay for his 10-step program. He only motivates you if you're watching WrestleMania. He only motivates you if you're watching his new movie. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want somebody genuine. Somebody that, okay, they have all this to show for. Now, their message is used to succeed. Now, their inside knowledge is used to succeed. But nobody will ever do that. Nobody ever... It's like... Think about it like this. It's like fishing. It's like fishing at a place where you don't want anybody to know where you're fishing. I don't know if you know about this.
Like gatekeeping?
Yes, perfect. That I didn't even think of that term. Yes, perfect. Like you're gatekeeping a pond, right? People can gatekeep ways to success as well.
Yeah.
You get me? And think about
No,
it.
I mean, people do it. And I think the reason people do it is to keep the competition low.
No, exactly.
You feel me?
But that's the thing. Like, it keeps the competition low, but it keeps us stagnant as a people. It like makes people, how do I put it? Very like, well, toxic in lesser terms, or I guess another way to put it.
Yeah.
It keeps people non-innovative. It keeps people just fuck the people in general. You get me? So, and don't get me wrong. Like, I can understand when you find an untapped market, you want to like basically set a fence around it so then people can't grab it. I understand that. But then again, it literally circles back to greed. It circles back to you not wanting to help others come up with you.
And it's also how society stays the same.
Exactly, yeah.
Poverty keeps... And that's basically, in an essence, what the corruption of, like, dictatorship and all that stuff,
Yep.
like, instead of helping society as a whole grow together, right? Because people are giving their money to the government to help the society.
Mm-hmm.
The greed of people, especially like, let's say like Fidel Castro and all these like, dictators, they keep the country poor, man. And a lot of people suffer for it. Mm-hmm. And it's like you said, man, like these are toxic traits that unfortunately are part of humankind.
Yeah, of course. But I guess when it comes to all those things, man, like, like I guess when it comes to this facet of government that we have, capitalism, politicians and lawmakers will get money from companies so that those companies can set up rules so it's harder for people to start up. You get me? So it's like you need a permit. Let's say you want to make your own kind of soda.
Yeah.
You need a permit to approve. You need to go through the FDA to approve that the soda is consumable. You need a permit for your warehouse. You need a permit for transportation. You need a permit for storage. You need a permit to sell. You need a permit for this, a permit for... Like, bro.
It's a lot.
The poor stay poor, the rich get richer in this country. And don't get me wrong, man. Like, I appreciate this country. I appreciate that we can have opportunities for that. But, bro, when literally people are pissing in your face, like, talking about, I have this much money, but they don't help you out, and they literally do the opposite, like, it gets fucking tiring. It gets annoying. You get me? Like, but bro, I just think that you look at the toxicity in its face, bro, and the shit that you literally cannot do anything about, and you persevere, bro. One way or another, you find your way through those cracks, and do you, man?
Yeah, bro, because, I feel like a lot of people, they also like accountability, right? Because, I mean, yes, we can point fingers at people who are, toxic. They don't help us with this. We can blame the government. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, what are you going to do about it?
No, you can look inwards.
We can either, cope or thrive. We can either point the fingers outwards or point the fingers inwards and change, self-reflect. And a lot of people, I feel like, don't do that. A lot of people always want to blame everybody else for where they are in life, why they're complacent, mm-hmm. why they don't prosper, why they don't grow. Bro, if you ask them, when was the last time you genuinely tried hard at something? When have you ever been consistent with something? Like, bro, if you're like obese, you can't be blaming the government for making, like, let's say McDonald's or Burger King, selling $1 cheeseburgers, but then you don't go for a walk. You don't at least get 10,000 steps in.
No, yeah, of course. Like, I can understand that there are certain parts of yourself where you're like, I can't be complaining about this because I can do something about it.
Yeah.
Versus, I'm pretty sure complaining about this is okay because I literally cannot do anything about it. Like, I need $5,000 to start up, I don't know, fucking Pogo company. But I don't have $5,000 because I live paycheck to paycheck because the government doesn't give me enough or something like whatever it is, right? You can blame things. You can blame things and you won't get anywhere. Don't get me wrong, but it also goes back to my point of you got to find that crack and you got to slip through it. You got to hustle more and you got to do your thing at the end of the day. So it's like if you see all these things around you, it should anger you. It should anger you to be better. But of course, if you're going to keep hitting a wall over and over again because somebody established that wall to not let you through the money, the success, you're not going to get anywhere. You can get angry if you want, but you're just going to look like some idiot hitting the wall instead of like breaking it down, instead of like actually finding a way around it. You get me?
Yeah.
So, you know, it kind of collaborates with what you're saying. Like, you can complain about the wall, or you can try to make gear to go over the wall. You get me? Like, you can try to better yourself. And don't get me wrong, bro, that wall is getting bigger and bigger when it comes to like trying to be successful in this life. People want quick attention. People want that thing that like that 7-second short that makes them laugh. Like, they don't ever say, okay, let me listen to their deep thought. Let me listen to their take, because they don't have that attention span. You get me?
But yeah, I mean, you know, circling back to the attention span thing, you know, there's obviously like conspiracy theories that the government or the elites or whatever want to keep people's attention span super short so that they're always distracted, right? Because a distracted society prevents people from prospering and being very easy to be manipulated and controlled, right? Like, how can you solve a problem that you don't even know exists because you're always being distracted? It's like we're puppets, you know. They're saying, oh, we're gonna keep it distracted with, you know, this controversy. Oh, Kim Kardashian's with this person, with that person. Kanye West said this, Kanye West said
Irrelevant
that. Irrelevant news. So that we're always talking about, you know, we're always gossiping about things that don't matter, things that are net negatives to society.
Yeah,
exactly. In what way do all of these things, all the things that celebrities do, contribute to our well-being? It doesn't make us a better person, doesn't make us richer. It doesn't give us any, you know, knowledge, experience. I mean, the only experience that we actually go through is that it's a waste of time. That's my experience, that all of these things are a waste of time.
Pretty much. And
yeah, go ahead.
And sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
You know, when it comes to like, I guess, indulging in a celebrity's life, it's funny. I think it's a funny thing how we're invested in the lives of others before investing in ourselves.
It's sad, man. And it's really sad.
You know, we should honestly, it's because I think people don't look inwards. They don't tell themselves like, why am I watching this? Why am I doing this? Why don't I experience it for myself? Why don't I try to get to that level? You get me? And you know, I think it's okay to like see news here and there, but to be on the constant loop of it and stuck in it, and just like, I've been on TikTok for 4 hours. Like, bro, you literally could have used those 4 hours to do anything else.
To produce.
You could have made a meal. You could have go worked out. You could have like studied.
You could have made your own TikToks.
Exactly, bro. Like, you could have been doing the opposite and being productive. You get me? And you know, I always like to go back and forth with points. And from the perspective of being lazy, we're lazy as well. Don't get me wrong. We're you know, we like to hold ourselves accountable. Like, we're not perfect either, but we want to be more productive than lazy at the end of the day. It's okay to indulge here and there, man. It's okay to play a game. It's okay to watch a movie, listen to some music, chill out. But to be doing some useless ass shit, like, it's dumb. Because even when you watch a movie, who knows if it's a movie that's about a drama, you learn a lesson at least. Even if you hear music, you feel more compelled if it's like a positive message to do something. If it's a celebrity that actually has a good message, which is rare nowadays, you know, you'll tell yourself, he's right. Like, one thing that I noticed about The Rock and Kevin Hart, they had said something. They said he's one of the hardest working people, and they say it back and forth to each other, that he's one of the hardest working people. And it's like, damn, I want to get like that. You get me? Like, I'm pretty sure they're friends. They're not best friends, but even now, indulging in that piece of information from them, like, I guess it's a double-edged sword because I'm indulging a celebrity quote,
Yeah.
but I'm getting something positive from it at least.
I feel like, yeah, like, and if you're gonna indulge, at least try to analyze every little part
Yeah.
of it. You could tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna indulge in this stuff that may be considered a waste of time, but maybe I can do my best to like pick little things here and there that can be a net positive to my life.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's maybe it's how somebody carries himself, or maybe one of them owns a business, and you're like, okay, how does he talk? What does he say? What's his mental thoughts when he's going, you know, about his life day to day? What does he tell himself? Because, you know, there's two different types of people. The people who are like the losers, quote unquote, they're losers because they label themselves as that, right? You think The Rock and Kevin Hart, like, let's say Kevin Hart, you think Kevin Hart is like complaining about how short he is in life. It's like, oh man, I'm so short.
He uses it as a crutch.
He's part of the minority because he's black. You think he's thinking all those things, or he's saying, okay, all of these things are against me, but what do I have in my, you know, repertoire of assets? Well, I'm pretty funny. I'm a pretty funny guy. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that asset and then amplify it to the max, so that I can get, you know, positive benefits from it, rather than, you know, thinking or pondering upon things that are not gonna be beneficial to him, right? Like his height. What if he's constantly complaining about height? Do you think that's ever gonna like help his life at all?
Well, it has actually, if you think about it, because he used it to find success. You get me?
He used it, but that's because
he used it in
funny.
a positive way, though. Yeah, exactly.
Because some people, because if that was the case, then everybody could use their disadvantages to get, you know, popular. But they don't, because they're not that funny.
But that's the thing too. Some people are also insecure. They're not that funny. So I guess it was like a special combination for him. But he used it. He used it as a crutch. He used it well. You get me? He
used it well. That's what I'm saying. He used what he cannot control to his advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
You get me?
Yeah, and that's a positive message, honestly. Like, you gotta look at that. You know, when you're laughing at Kevin Hart, you're like, damn, this 5'3" guy is like hilarious, man. Like,
and I don't even look at it like that. Bro, when he's on stage, I don't think, bro, what a short guy. He's funny though, but what a shorty. No, everyone's like, yo, this guy's hilarious. You don't care about his race. You don't care about his height, his background. All you care about is about what's happening in the present moment. You feel me?
And I guess another thing to touch upon before we end this video is the smaller aspects of toxicity. Other words, aka toxicity's brother, pettiness. So I think that pettiness is one of the funniest things ever. I think it is fucking hilarious that people will like do the smallest things just to fuck up your day. You get me? And it's like you know, that example of merging lanes, that could fuck up your day because you almost crashed, but they didn't want to let you in because they thought a car difference is a major difference. You know, shit like people giving you attitude when you're ordering a meal. Shit like a waiter like giving you a smirk because you said something, or I don't know, like just in general, people making others' lives harder just because they're fucking angry, just because like something inconvenienced them. You get me? Like, I think that when you take that high ground, you'll feel better throughout the day. You get me? Like, because if you put that pettiness in another area of pettiness, I guess somebody being petty to you, you got to tell yourself, I'm not going to stoop to their level. And you literally forget about them.
Yeah.
Like, it becomes irrelevant because you took the moral high ground. You get me? Like, I just think that when it comes to all of that, it's, how do I put it? It's that you want to one-up somebody. You want to...
you want a feeling of superiority.
Exactly, yeah. Like, and people don't like saying that they're wrong. People don't like admitting, like, that something was their fault. So that's why they'll be petty initially.
And I feel like if you take, you know, the moral high ground and act better than them, then it'll give them an opportunity to self-reflect, right? Because if, let's say, you do something petty to me and I do something petty to you, you're not going to be like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm glad I said it because look at how he responded.
Exactly.
Now, if you respond bad and I say, hey, man, have a good day. Take care. You're going to be like, damn, I shouldn't have said that to him, bro. Like, why am I like this? You know what? The next person that I encounter, I'm not going to act like that. Because that guy probably didn't deserve it. He might have had a bad day. You know, you have a higher chance of self-reflecting. And
then nowadays, bro, it's crazy to me how you could be nice to somebody that was petty to you. Like if they gave you a look of anger, and you're like, hey, bro, like, God bless, have a good one. They can somehow get more pissed off of that. Like, how? Like, they'll look at you and they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, have a good day, have a good, fuck you, like straight up, they'll just tell you like
That's true.
that.
I mean, it happened to me at the club. You remember? I'm not gonna say which club, but I've said this to a good amount of my friends. I was saying that there was a bartender there who was telling me, because I was picking up a jar of mojito leaves, and I was just looking at it. I wasn't even drunk or anything. I was just looking at it because from a distance I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what's inside of that jar? Should I have touched it? Probably not, but it was enclosed. It's not like I'm contaminating the leaves. And he goes, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, getting mad. And we're talking about, he's shorter than me, and I'm 5'7". And he's like, trying to, like, basically borderline fight me or whatever. And then I look at him and I go, oh, hey, man, like, my bad. Like, I wasn't going to do anything with it. God bless you, though. He goes, and then, like, he just had a stank attitude and then kept going. I mean, you never know. He might have had a bad day, or sometimes people are just bad people in general, and you cannot control that. But you can pray for that person, because you really don't know at the end of the day how that person became that person. Maybe that person has been bullied his whole life, and he's just tired of everyone always taking advantage of him, treating him bad, treating him like dirt. So by default, his response is, I'm going to attack others before they attack me. It's almost like a defense mechanism.
That's true. Yeah, and, I don't know, maybe the guy was treated horribly by somebody else that was being petty to him. Pettiness also is like a cycle. It's like I guess for a better word is a snowball. Like, you find hatred in a person, and then once that hatred sparks with that pettiness, it can lead to a fight. It can lead to even more hate. It can lead to that guy telling you, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing to that? You get me? And it's like, you saying God bless stopped it there. You get me? It stopped that cycle of hate instead of, like, getting up and trying to fight him too. You get me?
No, 100%. And I feel like, my bad, go ahead.
Because then that could cause somebody to get up and also try to fight you, and then it's a whole crowd fighting, and then everybody's pissed. You get me?
100%. No, I was gonna say that and this is why, like, the concept of stoicism is so imperative, especially in today's era. I do have kind of a problem with people constantly promoting how men should be very emotional, very sensitive, very in tune with their feelings. But when a man who is physically capable of destruction uses his emotions in a negative way, that's where problems arise.
Yes.
This is how fights start. This is how murdering starts. If you would have told that man, hey man, use logic over emotion, a lot of people would not end up in jail. A lot of people would not end up dead. But because we promote emotion and just be in tune with your feelings, that's what happens. Anger takes over, because anger is an emotion, and when anger takes over, destruction is inevitable.
So that's gonna be the vid for today, guys. I just wanted to thank all our subscribers, all the people that follow us on, I guess, all facets of social media. We're very appreciative of you guys. Majority of you guys are our friends, but we're still glad that you guys are following. We're still glad that you guys are indulging in some of the content. And once again, it's a beautiful day here today. We kind of wanted to jump over from toxicity to, I guess, a more pleasant tone. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a great day. My co-host Eman over here, amazing co-host, couldn't ask for a better friend. But we just want to say thank you for everything. Like, comment, subscribe. Give us your critiques, give us your criticisms of what we could do better. And we hope that you guys have a good day. Peace out.
Take care.